It's rare for Colorado's legislative hearings to look like the ones in Washington. Somebody answering questions from the hot seat while their opponents interrogate and their allies try to deflect and distract. But Colorado Democrats are determined to knock down questions about Secretary of State Jena Griswold as she prepares to run for governor. And Republicans are looking to keep attention on her office's latest error, the inadvertent leak of voting machine passwords during last year's election. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
I'm asking if you have a question.
This is my right to ask her question.
We're going to stand in brief recess.
State legislative committees do not often go into timeout to calm the room. They also don't generally have State Patrol troopers guarding the person testifying. Democratic Secretary of State Jena Griswold was there to give a performance update of her office, and Republicans used the opportunity to ask questions about the voting machine passwords posted online that we first reported on in late October.
Do we need to legislate that you have a good good communication with the county clerks?
Has there been a move to try to reinstill some confidence with the general public?
Griswold had scripted answers for many of the questions, including her own, to Republican State Representative Stephanie Luck about her knowledge of the hidden passwords even before Griswold's office was notified.
One of the questions I have is why the representative was sent this information, who sent it to the representative, and why she decided to share it with election deniers instead of election officials.
This juncture, I'm wondering why it's seemingly important for you in your official capacity with your duties as the head of elections in Colorado to deflect responsibility from yourself and to place blame on a whistleblower.
I take full responsibility, and I regret the error that my office made. However, I do think it's incredibly concerning that Representative Luck, you chose to give this information that you had early to literally an election denier who has called for me to be killed.
That self-proclaimed election denier is Sean Smith. He testified in a November court hearing that he found a hidden tab with the passwords on the publicly posted spreadsheet. He also said this about Griswold in 2022.
If you involved in election fraud, then you deserve to hang.
Few Democrats asked questions at today's hearing.
Thank you. I'm going to attempt to shift gears here.
The ones who did played box-out defense.
Madam Secretary, I'm only going to ask one question about actually, I'm not at all. I want to know about the note.
Box out. Box out.
Box out. No questions. No questions.
In Griswold's testimony, nothing new was revealed, but the back and forth between Griswold and Luck stuck out. I tried to ask Luck questions at a recess, and she said she could not talk. Then she re-entered the chambers from a side door and left through a side door, so I emailed her questions afterwards, not answered just yet, but one of the questions was, why did she not notify the Secretary of State's office or law enforcement after learning about the hidden tab with the passwords? Not to blame a whistleblower, but it would be good to know why the whistle wasn't blown to authorities.
Right, because the whole deal is, were these passwords used nefariously? And there's no evidence that they were used to interfere with the election, because you would have needed a second password and so on and so forth. But it's fair to ask, not only how did Griswold's office handle it, but that how did other people handle it if they were sitting on this knowledge?
Yeah, and we learned in that court hearing in November a little more of like who found out and how, and then there was Westward reported at the end of November at a GOP luncheon that Sean Smith had said he learned about it from Luck and another tried candidate, and it's like these are things that, okay, now we're learning a little bit more. I'd like to get a little more information just to find out who knew what when and who was told and who wasn't told and why.
And why. Marshall Zellinger, thank you.